All right, so I want to share a personal experience with you that I believe would be beneficial for everyone, especially if you are in sales or marketing and you are planning to roll out a new initiative, or if you're getting ready to do a presentation, or you're supervising the event at your child's school, anything like that where there's a lot of preparation involved ahead of time. So a lot of preparation involved ahead of time. So I've been a volunteer with Mothers Against Drunk Driving for 38 years now. That's a long time. Typically, I speak at 2 to 3 victims impact panels per month. Those meetings typically have about 50 to 100 people in attendance. You do the math over a 38-year period of time. I've spoken to at least 450 of these meetings with well over 50,000 people in attendance. I typically share a couple of stories. One of the stories, and this is the point I'm getting to, involved 3 vehicles and a victim that was just super innocent, devastating injuries. And so she's on her way home. She's on San Pasqual Road. It's a windy, meandering road, 1 lane in each direction, separated by painted WL lines only. The speed limit on this road is 45 miles an hour. She's going 45 miles an hour. She is behind a blue Toyota pickup truck traveling in the same direction, also going 45 miles an hour. Coming in the opposite direction is a person named John. John is super drunk. He's going 70 miles an hour. He sideswipes the blue Toyota pickup truck and then collides head-on into Yvonne's vehicle and causing devastating injuries. So I'm not going to go into graphic detail about anything, but over that 38-year period of time, I would talk about John and I would talk about Yvonne, and then I would simply identify the other vehicle as the blue Toyota pickup truck. And so this had happened for 30 years. And I'm in a meeting last October, and I always ask the group if they had any questions. And typically there are just really no questions to be asked. They just really want to get out of there. But one time, this first time this has ever happened, a gentleman in the audience said, "What happened to the person in the blue Toyota pickup truck?" And I said to myself, I don't know. And I had really never thought about it until that very moment, some 30 years later. And so I went back home. I pulled out a box. I grabbed that old police report that I had written. I saw the person's name on there. His name is Colby. And I saw that. So I went online. I Googled him. Facebook. I found him. So I sent him a message in Messenger and Facebook, told him who I was. And then, so to say he was surprised would be an understatement. So we went back and forth a little bit. And then I mentioned to him that it would be fantastic if he could speak to Yvonne. And immediately he gave me a telephone call. And on that telephone call, you could hear the emotion in his voice. And he said, "I thought she died." Think about this. Outside of John and Yvonne, he was the only one there. And he went over to Yvonne's vehicle to see the result of this devastating collision. And at the time, he was 19 years old. He was visiting from Utah, and he was getting ready to leave town the next day. And so when he left there with the thought in his mind that she had passed away because of the collision. And this entire time, I'm identifying a blue Toyota pickup truck, not taking into any consideration Colby's feelings, emotions, what he had been through over the last 30 years. And this is what he shared with me. He shared with me that he battled depression. He had a hard time with relationships. He had a hard time with employment. And it all ties back to that one incident. And of course, I bring that up now in the meetings. And every time I bring that up, I bring up the fact that I connected him with Don and Yvonne, and they were able to foster a relationship beyond that incident, and him being able to let go of 30 years of a burden, thinking that he saw someone take their last breath. So my point to all this is simple, is that if you're planning anything, look at every single component that's involved with the planning process. Think about the impact of each one. Think about the stories behind it. Think about what you're trying to accomplish, the message that you want to deliver, and then make sure every single angle is covered. I made that mistake. I learned from it. You're never too old to learn, but I am so grateful that I had an opportunity to be in that room with that person asking me that question, and for me to be able to connect those people in a meaningful way so they can have a relationship moving forward. I hope that makes sense. Take care. Have a great day.